Looking through the lens, opinions of three friends. Looking through the lens, sometimes they don't make sense.
Just had to stare at this disgusting face in the center there for a second. All right, we're moving on. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Through the Lens. We are the Unholy Trinity. I'm Sundude. On my right, that's Mr. Patronus Gold.
Hello.
Beautiful face. On my far right, that's Mr. Zephyros.
Guten Tag.
And today, what the series continues. Episode 4 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This episode is titled The Whole World is Watching, directed by Kari Skogland and written by Derek Kolstad, same as last week. Very interesting episode this week. All the credits pretty much same as last time, so we won't go into it too much. Let's just jump straight into it. First impressions, guys.
Oh, Bagger, my favorite episode so far, not gonna lie. I think basically almost flawless, I think. Takes a much darker tone, which reduces some of the comedy, but I think that really works for this episode because the themes, the story, everything in this thing is much darker. Even the action, everything has a much darker layer to it. It feels like classic Netflix Marvel, you know? And I really dug this episode.
Yeah, that was my line. But yes, I agree.
Yeah.
This episode was banging. You see, we're having a more moodier setting, as it also comes with the moodier events happening, and the characters becoming more introspective, as in they think about stuff, being like, is this totally right or is it not? Crazy stuff.
Yeah, super crazy. Yeah. Pretty much same as always. Good. It was good. But let's talk about why it was good. Why it's so crazy. First of all, acting in this episode was pretty spectacular, pretty fabulous.
I gotta say, I think Sebastian Stan actually delivers his best performance as Bucky in this one. I can't say why, but there's a scene at the very start of the thing, which is it shows the incredible emotional range of Mr. Stan.
Mm-hmm.
And another particular highlight, I think everyone's good, but I guess Mr. Wyatt Russell, he also has a bit more range in this episode, and I like what he does with his character. Very good stuff.
Super cool, yeah. Anything to add, yeah?
It's good. Fabulous, I would say.
Yeah. Cool. And most of this episode separates it from the rest of the series is the writing. Some pretty cool stuff. Very cool.
Deeper. Darker. And almost
It
like
do
the
be.
Netflix MCU, which is cancelled.
Yeah. Even if that's cancelled, we're getting something much better? Question mark? I haven't watched them.
No.
They're definitely the best thing that. Yeah, I agree with you. Don't do. We're sorry, but
That's
I
why it's almost
love
like the
the
Netflix.
show, but
Okay.
can't top Daredevil, unfortunately.
They still the top.
Yeah, I think writing in this pretty damn good. Got a lot more nuanced elements of a lot of the characters with their ideologies and their questioning of, I guess, their values and without spoiling too much, I guess, their morality, right? Hey,
I know what you think.
and just in terms of like the TV episode itself, it's well paced. Definitely much better paced than the last episode, because that was like my main complaint with the last episode, right? The pacing. This is definitely much better paced. I still find hard to connect with these flag smashers who were initially interesting, but their characters haven't like they are developing their characters, but like I still don't understand their motivation too much based on we don't know much about their circumstances,
Their
which I assume might have been cut from the show or something due to like COVID stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to know who Mama Donya is about the like the way they are treated in contrast to the people who returned.
Yeah.
Yeah, because actually the show is quite contradictory at that mark because we see the opposite occur to Falcon in the first episode. So I don't. So far it's kind of like they're saying they're not being treated right, but like we haven't really seen evidence of that yet. That's actually an interesting thing that would be useful.
They haven't showed what happened to them specifically.
Yeah,
it's all just based off descriptions from like the characters.
Oh, another thing, but this is more about the future of the show, so I can't make this won't detract at all from my score for this episode. Just saying, I'm not sure how they're going to be able to balance like multiple villains in this series. There's only a couple episodes to go, and honestly, with the Power Broker stuff, I don't know. It might seem because I want them to, if they're actually going to use the Flag Smashers, like completely flesh out everything that's going on there. That would be nice. Then I feel like the Power Broker might be a bit tacked on, to be honest. But I don't know. That's just a little worry about the future of the show. But I don't know. Who knows? Could go.
Yeah. So, that's writing. Anything else to say?
Just generally, dialogue's good. Everyone's true to their that's another thing. They're very true to their characters, especially I'd say Zemo.
Yeah,
he has a couple of cool moments in this episode as well. That's another thing they did really well. Zemo is like one of the most likable characters on the show now. I feel, it's cool. It's like a villain, but he's
a rogue man.
He's trying to
cool guy.
Trying to redeem himself.
Is he trying to redeem himself? He's just doing what he wants.
I don't know. I'm just.
He's redeeming himself in the eyes of the audience. You know.
He's making everyone swoon for him with his dancing.
Skills.
Yeah.
All right, cinematography. Pretty cool.
Pretty good, eh?
Yeah. Fit the action well.
But
yeah.
Cool.
Some of the better action in the. Actually, this is more visual.
Then let's talk about visuals. How's the visuals and editing?
So I think this episode, in terms of visuals, it had some of the better action in the show. I feel like I keep saying that about every episode because this is actually a pretty action. They have like at least one good action set piece in each of them. This one has about 3 good action set pieces. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of I'll say it in spoilers, but I'll come back to something to do with action and thematic stuff. But yeah.
All right. Anything else to add? Not really?
No.
Cool. And then final thing before spoiler zone. We've changed a little bit as of today. Instead of music, it's going to be audio/music. So because recently we've been talking more about the audio, since sometimes music can be a little just standard. But yeah, music was still pretty standard in this one.
Yep.
But it served its purpose. You want to talk about the audio a bit?
I can't really talk about too much, but they have really good use of audio in that final scene of the film. I think we should probably just like break down the actual scene in. I mean, you already got that like in spoilers basically, so we can talk about that in spoilers. But yeah, that's all I'll say. Also, I forgot to mention. I don't know if I mentioned this in the other episodes, but it kind of applies across the board. They really know how to utilize themes well, and it's especially they're using a lot of inspiration from the Civil War soundtrack, and that's cool. Civil War is like my favorite Marvel movie. Interesting fact. So yeah.
Okay. Well then, let's talk about that. Spoiler zone.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it then. Civil War.
Yeah. So I guess let's talk about So in that final action sequence, right? A lot of the, I guess, choreography of Walker is actually quite similar to stuff Captain America did in Civil War, including like jumping out of the window and then landing on the truck. It's like almost like a direct thing that happened in Civil War at the start. Even up to the point where he's like, that moment where he lifts the shield over his head, but the only difference is he actually kills the guy and Steve spares the guy. So then you can see a clear, it clearly shows you why he can never be Steve. That's like a very clear visual way of representing it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting as well. In second episode, we got kind of backstory on when with John Walker in that locker room, and they were talking about. He was talking about his concerns to was that her wife or her girlfriend?
His whoever
partner. Talking about his concerns, and then he had a talk with Lamar Hoskins as well. And that he said he wasn't ready. He didn't feel he could live up to it, stuff like that. Come true. He cannot live up to that. Shall we talk about that final scene more then? So, John Walker just gone on sicko mode, gone the dark route.
Well, you can see throughout
actually, before we get to that, could we talk about the actual build up to that, the gradual way the character develops over the episode?
You can see the pent up pressure on him from the start till the end. Then he cracked.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure on him, and there's actually an interesting thing here, which I wish they would have touched on vaguely a bit more during that actual second episode when he's talking to Battlestar in the locker room. There's actually one thing that, okay, so across the thing, right, he gets beaten by the Dora Milaje, he keeps getting beaten by people. The actual point, though, that makes him completely crack, right? Well, I mean, not crack in the way he goes violent, I mean the way he takes the super soldier serum, right? Yeah. Is because of something that happened to him in Afghanistan. That was pretty interesting. Because basically Battlestar was like, yo, if we had the super soldier serum, we could have saved a lot of lives that day. So that's the point where he's like, well, fuck, I should have.
He's kind of justifying him taking the serum by thinking, he could save more people with the serum.
Yeah. So his intentions are still pure up to that.
Mm-hmm. I was just saying, this brought up an interesting point. Throughout this entire episode, they've been referencing, they didn't talk about the means to an end. What are the means to achieving an end? And this is his means. His means are now this. And
what's the serum?
It was the serum that corrupted him, as they refer to it. It didn't everything corrupt Steve.
Somewhat, but that's what Zemo says. It corrupts him. But also, Battlestar says the line about it makes good men greater and bad men worse, or something,
I guess
right?
it shows his true self.
I guess you can make the assumption that because you do see those violent tendencies, but they never fully reach the realization until he takes the serum, right? I guess it's with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Oh yeah.
So he got the power now. But even still, the interesting thing is he's not doing anything because he's evil, right? Even when he kills the guy at the end, right? It's not because he's an evil guy. It's because he's pissed off because his friend was fucking murdered in front of him.
Well, going from there,
it's kind of a tragedy. His character has a lot of potential. He's a good soldier and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's just all of this stuff is building and building, and it is that's another thing. In this episode, they focus a lot more on Battlestar, which kind of made me realize, he's gonna die, because other people would not focus on it that much. But they focus on him a lot, and you get they're obviously really close friends, so it's kind of sad that happens, and
But like,
Yeah.
to what point are you willing? What point? What? How far are you going to go if that happens to you? I guess that's the show. That's the thing that shows your true self.
And like I said, it goes back to that
went.
Captain America Civil War moment where Cap was could have killed Iron Man, but he stops himself. And so yeah, that's the thing. John should have stopped himself, mate.
Oh, that's another Civil War reference. Yeah, I think it's a Civil War reference. The one of the the Wakandan soldiers stepped on the shield and caught it like how Cap did in the elevator.
Yeah. Winter Soldier reference. Winter Soldier
reference. Okay.
Did a step on it and grabbed it.
Oh, there's a Kill Bill reference in that bit where the Wakandans disable his arm. That's a Kill Bill thing.
And Bucky said,
yeah. Because of the 5 pressure point thing that they do in the movie. There's another Civil War thing I wanted to mention. Oh, this is you with the comic books. That scene where he kills the guy at the end. It's very similar to the scene where it's more or less the same as Civil War, but this is different. Where he's about to kill Iron Man, but there's older people watching, and somebody says to Cap, "The world is watching," and that's what makes him stop. And guess what the title of the episode is?
So what
Your mother.
Son, dude, got him again.
So, yeah. If you paid attention at the start of the episode, you would know what the title of the video is called. And if you didn't, you have to go all the way back and increase our watch time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy hints. Win-win situation.
That your mum joke. That's many times as good. But yeah, that's kind of Civil War stuff. Also, yeah, they use Civil War themes. They're basically using I'm not sure. I don't think it was the Zemo theme in the original Civil War theme in this Civil War movie. It was just like a Civil War theme. But what I can't speak today. That's Zemo's actual theme in this episode, in this series. That has nothing to really do with this episode. But that's just something I observed.
The Zemos.
All right. Now we touched on Battlestar already and his heavy focus in this episode.
Yeah.
Worth mentioning that the death of Battlestar, it directly reflects, Walker's. Well, I think you would say his morals dying. Battlestar was the one guy who could temper him, who could stop him from being irrational. But at the end of the day, he died, and Walker's sort of morality died with it.
Oh, that reminds me, actually, to do with this, a great line in the episode where he's fighting, and then one of the terrorists or something says "What did you do?" And he said, "They took Battlestar," and you're like, "Oh, yeah."
Wait, what? The terrorists?
Yeah, you don't remember? The flag smashers. When they realized that he had super soldier serum.
Oh.
And they're like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "Battlestar." Purpose. Yeah. Save Battlestar.
So there's some very interesting. I think this episode had a bit more interesting decisions made around some shots and some certain scenes, which I can only remember 2, so there's probably nothing. But you remember that one scene where the camera was in the roof when Bucky walked back into the apartment and then it sweeped down and then looked at him, and I thought, it's kind of it doesn't imply anything. I think it's more of an artistic choice with that sort of sweep. The other thing I was gonna say was when Lamar's tied up with the zip ties and he was cutting himself free with the knife, there was just dripping water, not far off from him, and that was at the front of the shot, and it was it was kind of weird. It didn't really do anything plot wise, but it's more implied, time's ticking away.
Oh yeah.
So there was a lot of more artistic choices in this episode with some of the cinematography and visuals and whatnot. Yeah.
Also, remember, Battlestar sacrifices himself for Walker. That's how he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot to mention.
I think it's also interesting to talk about when Carly punched, knocked Lamar into the pillar, whatever, and he died that way.
Yeah.
Even she was pretty surprised.
She's like,
Everybody
she
stops.
died.
Everyone's
Everyone
just
stopped,
like,
yeah.
Or like, oh shit, he died.
Oh yeah. So talk more about that moment was really good because like all the audio goes out, right?
Yeah.
You just hear, yeah.
The room goes silent.
And he just going. It's actually pretty sad, honestly. Where he goes to Battlestar, he's just like, "Hey, come on, man." Yeah. But that moment, I kind of knew what was gonna happen. Like that, I think you're meant to kind of know. You're just like, "Oh
Well,
fuck,
yeah.
he's gonna do something bad." Yeah.
We all know there's oh shit, he's going mental. Yeah,
Yeah.
he went mental. Speaking of mental.
So yeah.
Moralities. In this episode, we also explored a bit of the reasoning or motive behind the Flag Smashers and how their morality works, so, which apparently is just like uniting the world
It's like
by
one man's freedom fighter is another supremacist terrorist, right?
yeah.
That's kind of like yeah.
Well, that's kind of the argument Falcon and Carly was having. Like, you want a better world by making other people's lives worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the thing I'm gonna complain about is like we don't really understand where Carly's coming from. We just kind of know like she's been in a bad spot, and she wants the world to comply with her idea, or like I guess what she wants, which is like where I guess equality for all, including the people who are displaced.
It's not even equality.
It's more like
it's literally supremacy because she wants the people who were there during the blip to have the power.
oh, it's more
She
like
wants the other people gone basically. So it's like
she wants the
it's not
people
even
who
equality.
disappear to keep being to disappear again.
Yeah, more or less, right?
Yeah. So it is kind of supremacy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But we can't really understand like what she went through because the show never goes into what she
Don't
went
show
through.
us, yeah.
Yeah. And she thinks it's the right thing.
Yeah.
With her argument with Falcon. And like Mama Donya, we don't know what the fuck she did. So like same thing there. How is Mama Donya important to Carly and to the Flag Smashers?
Yeah.
But
They
might be
tried
revealed-
to explain that a bit in the funeral scene. You know, she was a
yeah.
mother to me, to all of us. She
But
cared for us, fed for us.
That's it. I mean,
It would be nice to, because it's a movie, TV show, like show don't tell.
yeah.
Because it's not like they can't do flashbacks. They did a flashback at the start of the episode.
But that might be because of the time restraints or whatnot. But we don't know. Could have been
COVID stuff.
executed better.
I think that's really sad for these Marvel shows that are coming out now because they all had to film during like COVID times, so they all had to cut short.
Yeah.
Bucky.
And a parallel that I found with the Flag Smashers is Metal Gear, as I said a few times.
Yeah.
Mama Donya could be like Big Boss, which is like a mentor figure to Naked Snake. And Naked Snake, or actually not Big Boss. Big Boss is Snake. Mama Donya is like the boss. The lady who is a mentor figure to Snake, which is the big boss. Snake wants a world without borders as well, just like a Kali. He's like soldier works everywhere, world without borders. So yeah, but like Snake's way of fighting is to keep on fighting, which is what Kali's doing, which is like to have a world, one nation party. To have one nation, he just he keeps being a militia, killing other nations, which is what Kali's doing.
Actually, that's a good point about the border thing. Throughout the show, you see a lot of examples of that, like jurisdiction stuff being abused for the sake of military stuff. Even in the first episode, that almost happens with they have to like get the guy, and there was like the whole border thing. There's a lot of like military concerns. In this episode, everyone breaks it. The fucking Wakandans break it. The fucking Captain America breaks it. Everything goes to shit. So like, yeah,
I guess
don't know.
countries do restrict, but then again, like
also, I want to elaborate on before when I was talking about how I think it's interesting. Like, if we get more scenes between Sam and Harley, Sam could talk about his experience because everything's ever since he got like blipped back, his life with his family, that's all been like, it's all been pretty shit. So like, if he'd been like, "Hey, here are my experiences," actually that'd be a good way to do exposition as well, right? Because she'd be like, "Well, here are my experiences." You
that
get
might
both
be
sides.
the plan there.
Yeah, explanation. Yeah.
Because then, like, Carly could understand the perspective of a blip person, and maybe change their mind, or get killed.
And they all make up and have a happy ever after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy.
Hideo Kojimbo is a genius.
Oh, another theme thing that was mentioned here about the blood on the shield, the blood on America stuff. You want to expand on that, Sonny?
More spoiler stuff.
We're in the
more
spoilers, mate.
theory stuff.
Okay.
Like, we'll leave that for theory stuff. We'll just talk about individual points, and then we'll get onto some, speculation, theories, whatever.
So I will say,
ironic.
I guess. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, a bit ironic that the guy, the captain that John Walker killed early in the film, said, I was a big fan of Captain America. Steve Rogers, that guy was pretty sick. I like Captain America. Then he gets fucking killed by Captain America.
Kind of goes to what Zemo says about like idols and stuff, and how you give people these like big idol. That's like also another flaw with Mr. Walker, right? He might have been an okay guy, but once you give him this like idol, he gets a bit more of like a god complex, right?
Yeah.
That's why kids do not stand for your K-pops, because they will eventually kill you.
Jesus. Another Zemo thing. I thought it was very interesting that Zemo respects Cap. I saw some people say that doesn't make sense with his philosophy and stuff, but I think it does, because I think he genuinely learned from Civil War, like after all of the shit that he saw go down.
Different, right? Because he didn't have that complex. So I guess that's where his respects go.
Yeah.
Even though he's a super soldier.
I think Bucky's okay, right?
Well, Bucky, I guess, was once his project thing, so I guess I don't know. I guess he's okay with Bucky.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything else? Any like individual points to add before?
Probably because like Bucky knows his place, so like Seamus alright with that.
Oh, can we talk about the Wakandans in this episode? We didn't talk about that at all.
Wakanda forever.
They're in the episode. They kick everyone's ass.
Yeah.
Especially
Dora Milaje.
They kick John's ass.
I remember the name now.
And it's very cool, the relationship between Winter Soldier and AO, right?
Yeah.
Because you get that flashback at the start of the episode which is a fantastic scene, by the way, because with Winter Soldier, and he's like crying as she's like reading the words out to him because he's afraid, like, what if it happens again? It's reflecting on all of his past stuff, all of his actions, and that sense. Also, tears of happiness because he's like free now. It's good. That was a very powerful scene. You really get that bond between the two, which is why later in the episode, it hits a bit harder with the fact that like he's literally broke out the guy who killed her king and stuff like that, which seems like a betrayal of trust, I guess. Yes, the king. Um, that's kind of all I have to say. Yeah.
Zemo escaped. The Wakandan soldier.
Where'd he go?
Where he go?
Where'd he go? I think he's probably gonna just kill Carly.
Yeah.
No, to kill Walker. No, to kill Carly.
Well, he's gonna kill
he
them
doesn't know
both,
what
man.
happened to Walker yet. Yeah, but yeah.
He'll probably find out since he was on. People be tweeting at him. The incident.
We do know he goes to Sokovia eventually from the trailers. He goes to the memorial. And then we know there's like there was like a scene shot in the trailers where it was Bucky dropping bullets in front of him, right?
Yeah.
So could be some interesting stuff going on. So they find him eventually. He's not off the radar for the entire rest of the show.
He literally like basically told them that he would go to the Sokovia place when he's like, "Hey, have you guys been to the Sokovia Memorial?" Nah, of course you haven't.
Also, we know Sharon Carter's satellite system is tracking him.
Apparently so.
Him? Was he tracking
Zemo.
Walker?
Zemo.
Oh no, sorry. I don't remember now. Actually, was it Walker or Zemo?
Because she was the one who was like, "Walker's coming."
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
so
tracking
I think-
everyone, man.
Maybe she is.
But,
What's
like-
the power broker?
Falcon called
For some
her to
reason, I
track
remember being
Zemo.
Zemo. Yeah. I remember being Zemo, but I don't know. My memory's kind of fucked, anyways. In any case, she could be tracking Zemo. That's the point there.
True. Yeah.
So, who knows? We still don't know. We can still speculate. Like, we only saw a little bit of Sharon Carter, but we can probably speculate that she's working for the power broker, maybe, kind of, possibly. I don't know. We'll see how
What
that
could
goes.
be the power broker?
I still think that's unlikely. More like she was working for the power broker. But
I think with the power broker, this is kind of just from a narrative way they'll have to do it. Either it has to be someone we've already seen in the show, which only points to Sharon basically, because I don't think anyone else could be the power broker, or it's something like the Mandalorian. I mean, the
Mandalorian.
the Mandarin, and setting up for the next thing. That could also, because I don't think they have time to establish a new character and do all that in the next 2 episodes without it being a little bit disappointing. Purely because they have too many villains to work with right now. So if they go like Mandarin, yeah, then they could set it up to deal with in Shang-Chi or something. Then that would be like an okay way to do it without having to overcrowd. I think that's the best way they could do it for writing, but I don't know. We'll see what they do.
That was the immortal Iron Fist, man. He is the power broker.
I've seen some.
And he comes in with the 2 golden guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched another like New Rockstars video. It wasn't like the full episode breakdown, but it was like more of a. It's from their stereo like little session that they do. I forgot what they said. It was some other guy that we haven't talked about already. People are still on the Zola train, by the way. People still think Zola's going to be the power broker.
Zola.
Yeah.
The sad.
Likely, unlikely, could be anything.
I don't know. Could be.
I remember there was another one as well, but I forgot who. But MT Mastertainment, he brought up a theory that Demolition Man's gonna join John Walker. They're gonna introduce Demolition Man. No, that's the power
Just
broker.
in case for those people who don't know who Demolition Man is, obviously not me because I've read every comic and stuff. I know what you're talking about. But just in case, can you give me an exact description of who he is and his entire backstory?
Basically, he was enhanced by the power broker in the comics. His literal costume was literally in the comics. I think ripped off from Wolverine, which is why he looks like Wolverine. He's also called D-Man.
Yo, what if
That's
we have
nice.
Logan as the power broker?
D-Man.
I think
That would actually be kind of interesting because
yeah.
it's manageable.
Right. He got powers from the power broker, and then he teamed up with Steve Rogers to investigate Power Broker Incorporated. And then he's like captured, but then he goes mad and attacks Captain America.
Oh,
In a case
They
he's
did do
involved with Captain Power Broker and all that.
What if
In
Keanu
the comics, he
Reeves
mistakenly
played the
fights Battlestar.
well, I don't think he can do that anymore.
Yes.
Oh, also, Demolition Man joins Falcon, Nomad, and Vagabond to search for Rogers when Steve Rogers goes missing. So, could be stuff.
I saw another theory that it could be Justin Hammer.
MC Hammer.
Like, MC Hammer?
No.
I had something, but I forgot.
It was Johnny Silvercock all around.
The real questions.
Any further theories for this one?
The big one. What's
For
happening to
this,
John Walker?
I was going to say for this one for the Mandalorian. No, what am I saying? Well, for the Power Broker. Any more Power Broker theories? Say.
Okay. The
Say it's
Mandalorian.
Keanu Reeves, man.
It could be the Mandalorian.
No, Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda.
Baby
Grogu.
Yoda's coming out. Grogu.
Yeah. Sorry, you can go with your thing.
Whose thing? Sally's thing.
The U.S. agent stuff.
Oh,
Okay. So, at the ending scene, he killed someone with the shield. He's literally stained the America's image. Captain America's shield is covered in blood.
Yeah.
So what happens now to John Walker? Is he just like being disowned by is he being disowned by America like a dumb child?
Go back to your
That's
root.
interesting.
Get grounded.
Because you're right, he literally walked into a foreign country with a symbol of America and killed someone with it. So I think it goes further than him. It's like it is just like a statement. It's already
America's
confirming,
problem.
like, you know how this actually interesting. Flag Smasher was talking. The Flag Smasher Carly was talking about one of her big concerns is about the countries who were in power before returning to power after the blip. That was one of the things. I think this kind of will like reconfirm fears of America being that like country that like goes into places, fucking destroys things. Sokovia, for example,
Ain't that
that
just
sort of
real
thing.
life?
Yeah, that actually, you're right. That's kind of like real life, which is why I think it's could be even worse because if they're basically like real life, so they will have to do something. The government are going to have to do something. Like they're going to have to do something publicly with Walker.
Execute.
Either they get the PR person from the boys, or they just go, "Fuck this guy." We're gonna.
Who's the PR person from the boys? Oh, you mean
when Homelander kills people, and then they're just like, "That's fine, guys. Don't worry,
he's a
Homelander's
terrorist. He's fine. Yeah.
Although I reckon my prediction of what's going to happen to Walker is, for the next couple of episodes, he'll be like benched, right? He won't be Captain America, blah blah blah. His shield will be taken away. And final episode, post-credit scene, someone's going to just like be like, "Hey yo, we need you, US. You're going to be the US agent now. Come on, secret operation."
Oh, he gets hired by the CIA.
That's my
man.
prediction. Yeah, and the CIA guy, oh, Zemo comes, and then Zemo goes, "I'm putting together a team."
Why?
That's terrible. Yeah, but I think it will be recruited as like a secret.
Could be anyone there. I think we've talked about everything.
Yep.
Anything on the top of your mind that you want to get off your chest? No? All right. Coolio. It's time for the final verdicts. We are going to go.
Yay.
Starting on Dio. Take us away.
Banging episode. We're going in a good direction. And I'm predicting it's gonna get more fun stuff's gonna happen. Yeah. 9 out of 10 on this one.
Ooh, 9 out of 10, Jack.
What did I think I gave 9 for the last episode.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only flaw in this episode I think is really lies with the flag smashes, and I guess managing the possible future concerns about the managing their villains and stuff. But I can't really strike anything for that. So just basically just the flag smasher stuff. So I'll give this a 9.5. I think it's just that tiny bit because they're not even in it too much.
I just checked. By the way, you gave the last one an 8.
Oh, actually, then I'll give it a 9. You know what? A 9. That's okay. Good. But it's also my best score so far, and it gives them plenty of room to improve.
Yeah, and it makes my job easy. I'm gonna go for a 9.
Yo.
For a combined average of 9 for the 4th episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Epicu.
Everyone, zero dance.
Fuck you.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Get on that. Okay.
Let's get it.
All right, we're done ruining your day now with stupid fucking jerking off motions. So we're gonna end the episode now. We're gonna stop. Fuck. Yeah. We're gonna get out of your way now. We're just gonna end the episode now. Like and subscribe if you really hate us.
Oh, you like us?
Either way, just like and subscribe for us.
Come on, you guys come here for the cringe. Okay, I admit it at this point. Fucking masochists.
Just like if you're a masochist or a sadist, your choice. Press like.
Saddest.
I am the saddest.
Yeah, if you're the saddest, press like.
I am the saddest.
Sadist, press like.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.